Unter dem Mondschein beginnt die Nacht. Fate ist da, die Bühne ist gemacht. Pokémon, Gacha, Anime, Flair. Müde Augen, doch die Stimmung ist mehr. Verpeilt auch immer am Ziel vorbei. DH und Vesadel sind immer dabei. Abends streamen, bis die Nacht uns ruft. Fate ist hier, der Chat hat Luft. Fate ruft alle, komm und spiel. Abenteuer mit Stil. Von Teewatz Wind bis Arknights Glanz. Gemeinsam tanzen wir im Sternentanz. Um 10 ist Schluss, doch bis dahin tauchen wir ein, wohin die Games uns ziehen. Scatterbrained, ein Lacher mehr. Fates Humor bringt uns immer her. Verpeilt, doch immer am Ziel vorbei. Der hier und Vesadel sind immer dabei. Abends streamen, bis die Nacht uns ruft. Fate ist hier, der Chat hat Luft. Fate ruft alle, komm und spiel. Abenteuer mit Stil. Von Teewatz Wind bis Arknights Glanz. Gemeinsam tanzen wir im Sternentanz. Anime, schau, die Zeit vergeht. Die Welt ist bunt, wohin sie auch weht. Mit Fate durch die Nacht, so frei und klar. Jedes Abenteuer ist wunderbar. Also folgt dem Ruf, sei mit dabei. Mit Fate wird's nie langweilig, glaub mir, sei frei. Pokémon, Gacha und Anime-Vibe, komm in den Stream, es ist deine Zeit. Fate ruft alle, komm und spiel. Abenteuer mit Stil. Von Teewatz Wind bis Arknights Glanz. Gemeinsam tanzen wir im Sternentanz. Anime, schauen, die Zeit vergeht. Unter dem Mondschein beginnt die Nacht. Fate ist da, die Bühne ist gemacht. Pokémon, Gacha, Anime, Flair. Müde Augen, doch die Stimmung ist mehr. Verpeilt auch immer am Ziel vorbei. DH und Vesadel sind immer dabei. Abends streamen, bis die Nacht uns ruft. Fate ist hier, der Chat hat Luft. Fate ruft alle, komm und spiel. Abenteuer mit Stil. Von Teewatz Wind bis Arknights Glanz. Gemeinsam tanzen wir im Sternentanz. Um 10 ist Schluss, doch bis dahin tauchen wir ein, wohin die Games uns ziehen. Scatterbrained, ein Lacher mehr. Fates Humor bringt uns immer her. Verpeilt, doch immer am Ziel vorbei. Der hier und Vesadel sind immer dabei. Abends streamen, bis die Nacht uns ruft. Fate ist hier, der Chat hat Luft. Fate ruft alle, komm und spiel. Abenteuer mit Stil. Von Teewatz Wind bis Arknights Glanz. Gemeinsam tanzen wir im Sternentanz. Anime, schau, die Zeit vergeht. Die Welt ist bunt, wohin sie auch weht. Mit Fade durch die Nacht, so frei und klar. Jedes Abenteuer ist wunderbar. Also folgt dem Ruf, sei mit dabei. Mit Fade wird's nie langweilig, glaub mir, sei frei. Pokémon, Gacha und Anime-Vibe, komm in den Stream, es ist deine Zeit. Fade ruft alle, komm und spiel, Abenteuer mit Stil. Von Teywards Wind bis Arknights-Glanz, gemeinsam tanzen wir im Sternentanz. Anime schauen, die Zeit vergeht. Unter dem Mondschein beginnt die Nacht. Fate ist da, die Bühne ist gemacht. Pokémon, Gacha, Anime, Flair. Müde Augen, doch die Stimmung ist mehr. Verpeilt auch immer am Ziel vorbei. DH und Vesadel sind immer dabei. Abends streamen, bis die Nacht uns ruft. Fate ist hier, der Chat hat Luft. Fate ruft alle, komm und spiel. Abenteuer mit Stil. Von Teywards Wind bis Arknights-Glanz, gemeinsam tanzen wir im Sternentanz. Um 10 ist Schluss, doch bis dahin tauchen wir ein, wohin die Games uns ziehen. Scatterbrained, ein Lacher mehr. Fates Humor bringt uns immer her. Verpeilt, doch immer am Ziel vorbei. Der hier und Vesadel sind immer dabei. Abends streamen, bis die Nacht uns ruft. Fate ist hier, der Chat hat Luft. Fate ruft alle, komm und spiel. Abenteuer mit Stil. Von Teywards Wind bis Arknights-Glanz, gemeinsam tanzen wir im Sternentanz. Anime, schau, die Zeit vergeht. Die Welt ist bunt, wohin sie auch weht. Mit Fade durch die Nacht, so frei und klar. Jedes Abenteuer ist wunderbar. Also folgt dem Ruf, sei mit dabei. Mit Fade wird's nie langweilig, glaub mir, sei frei. Pokémon, Gacha und Anime-Vibe, komm in den Stream, es ist deine Zeit. Fate ruft alle, komm und spiel. Abenteuer mit Stil. Von Teywards Wind bis Arknights-Glanz, gemeinsam tanzen wir im Sternentanz. Anime schauen, die Zeit vergeht. Unter dem Mondschein beginnt die Nacht. Fate ist da, die Bühne ist gemacht. Pokémon, Gacha, Anime, Flair. Müde Augen, doch die Stimmung ist mehr. Verpeilt auch immer am Ziel vorbei. DH und Vesadel sind immer dabei. Abends streamen, bis die Nacht uns ruft. Fate ist hier, der Chat hat Luft. Fate ruft alle, komm und spiel. Abenteuer mit Stil. Von Teewatz Wind bis Arknights Glanz. Gemeinsam tanzen wir im Sternentanz. Um 10 ist Schluss, doch bis dahin tauchen wir ein, wohin die Games uns ziehen. Scatterbrained, ein Lacher mehr. Fates Humor bringt uns immer her. Verpeilt, doch immer am Ziel vorbei. Der hier und Vesadel sind immer dabei. Abends streamen, bis die Nacht uns ruft. Fate ist hier, der Chat hat Luft. Fate ruft alle, komm und spiel. Abenteuer mit Stil. Von Teewatz Wind bis Arknights Glanz. Gemeinsam tanzen wir im Sternentanz. Anime, schau, die Zeit vergeht. Die Welt ist bunt, wohin sie auch weht. Mit Fate durch die Nacht, so frei und klar. Jedes Abenteuer ist wunderbar. Also folgt dem Ruf, sei mit dabei. Mit Fate wird's nie langweilig, glaub mir, sei frei. Pokémon, Gacha und Anime-Vibe, komm in den Stream, es ist deine Zeit. Fate ruft alle, komm und spiel. Abenteuer mit Stil. Von Teewatz Wind bis Arknights Glanz. Gemeinsam tanzen wir im Sternentanz. Anime, schauen, die Zeit vergeht. Unter dem Mondschein beginnt die Nacht. Fate ist da, die Bühne ist gemacht. Pokémon, Gacha, Anime, Flair. Müde Augen, doch die Stimmung ist mehr. Verpeilt auch immer am Ziel vorbei. DH und Vesadel sind immer dabei. Abends streamen, bis die Nacht uns ruft. Fate ist hier, der Chat hat Luft. Fate ruft alle, komm und spiel. Abenteuer mit Stil. Von Teewatz Wind bis Arknights Glanz.
So, dann würde ich sagen, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Runde Honkai Star Rail. Okay, Ton ist definitiv besser. Gut, das heißt, erstmal ohne Voice Changer. Bis das nächste Mikro kommt oder das hier richtig eingestellt ist. So. Storytime.
By the looks of it, you must be the foreign warriors that the Queen had mentioned, right?
Mehr oder weniger?
Since the current campaign requires the utmost care, I wasn't able to make time to welcome all of you. Please, forgive me.
Foreign warriors?
Wer sind das? Ist das der scheiß Dosen
A priestess, a warrior, and a divine beast. You look identical to the blessed saviors that the Queen described.
A campaign? who are you campaigning against?
Nobody knows, as of now. Of the scouts that went ahead, only one has managed to return. He says that the land ahead is a forbidden land that should not be approached, as it is the doorway between the netherworld and the mortal realm.
Okay.
As for the rest of the scouts, they've completely lost their souls and are decaying by the day. While there is still dissension within the city, the scholars agree that this calamity was so unprecedented that it needed to be given a new designation.
An unprecedented calamity. Could it be death?
It seems that you have indeed heard about this. Well, death is just one of the possibilities. It's too early to come to a definitive conclusion.
A world that has never seen death. Looks like these people lived in the era Chrysia before the Calamity Titans descended upon the land. May I ask, where is the scout who managed to come back?
Though he returned to Styxia, he only had enough left in him to last no more than half a day. However, it was his intel that convinced us to rally together. He said that he witnessed the demonic specter of an evil dragon at that treacherous land. The apparition opened its giant maw and devoured everything in sight, and thus brought Styxia that thing called death.
Styxia. An evil dragon that brings death.
It all sounds rather familiar. Wait, wasn't this part of that fable?
Sir, could I ask how the Queen and Princess are doing?
The Queen? By the looks of it, you must be the foreign warriors that the Queen had mentioned, right?
Hat er sich resettet?
Oh, it's the same lines. Looks like he's still trapped in the moments before his death.
Leave it to me. Sir, the war ended long ago. Styxia no longer exists.
Styxia is no more? This cannot stand! Newcomers, hurry up and go take your positions!
Oh, looks like it's difficult for this gentleman to accept reality.
Was erwartest du?
Sir, I am the Maiden of War, sent here by the Queen herself. If you accept my blessing, then today's battle will be smooth sailing.
Maiden of War? I've never heard of this. There's little time to waste. Please don't take too long.
Don't worry. I'm typically unwilling to prolong such a moment.
Is it over? Have we won?
Unfortunately not.
Cass, oh, are you all right?
I'm fine. I just didn't expect that I would still have to embalm others, even in the realm of the dead. Is this a remnant of his soul?
Quite ominous.
Now then, why should I place my trust in you? Holy maiden from afar.
Wait, this is... I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Since the prophecy has already pronounced your name as Chrysos' heir of death, Akima ought to treat you as an esteemed guest. However, you seem to have no intentions of concealing your involvement with the Council of Elders, while most likely being aware of my issues against them.
I cannot deny your claim. It was the Council that offered this room to me, and they had only one request. They want the curse of death to be completely subjugated to your will. I was agreeable to that request.
But why?
I am unable to rid myself of this innate curse. However, from this day onward, I shall use it according to your will.
Okay.
I will never make any superfluous moves on my own.
I see. So that is how they plan to control the Flame Chase journey. They have shifted the heavy responsibility of granting death over to me. If I ever become obsessed with executing people, they will then have ample reason to terminate the Chrysos heir's journey.
And yet, you seem to not mind. This is quite surprising to me.
That's because the fate that we were born with is a burden far heavier than that of an individual's life. I've woven many unforeseen events into the tapestry of fate. This is but one instance. Tidy up your precious garments and come with me. Akima welcomes you, Castoris.
Okay.
I didn't think we'd find vestiges of memory here. Maybe they've got something to do with Orynyx's rune?
Perhaps, but I do not need a reminder from them. This memory is one that I will never forget.
Interesting.
I really want to repay her for that trust. But why would this memory appear right now? Is this really Orynyx's power?
Was weiß ich?
Could these dead monsters actually be... Why are the Black Tide monsters here too? Can they swim in the River of Souls?
Was fragst du mich?
Even Thanatos wouldn't be able to accept Black Tide monsters into their realm. These traces seem to suggest that anybody who trespasses upon death will pay a heavy price. Since the realm of the dead must remain peaceful, it's imperative that we rid the place of such discordant noise.
Okay.
Please stay back. Let me deal with these enemies. Existence is unity.
Lass mich einfach.
Root here.
How's this taste?
As you wish.
friends? Indulge yourselves!
Reach the end of the story in your
The
own.
path ahead is blocked by the River of Souls again.
In that case, let's go back to the past. This miracle sure is handy. If Dan Heng was around, he'd definitely be able to raise the waters of the River of Souls into the sky.
If Lady Hycelens was still alive, I think she might be able to do that too.
Was zur Hölle ist das bitte?
You seem to be able to discern both the past and the future.
Muss ich mir angucken. Wie genau das letzten Endes funktioniert.
Oh, this place must have been a beautiful courtyard in the past.
Interesting.
Please excuse me. I am but a scholar from a distant land who had the misfortune of falling into the River of Souls and turned into a member of the dead.
Okay.
This one seems to know that she's already dead.
Oh, I was merely speculating, but it seems I was right. And you, I recognize you. You're the Holy Maiden of Death from Idonia, right?
I'm sorry. I cannot bring you back to life. However, should you desire it, I can end your prolonged limbo.
I'm well aware of that. Even if you were able to revive me, I would never choose that option.
Okay.
That's because I didn't fall into the River of Souls by accident. Instead, I leaped into it to seek my death.
Okay.
Why?
If you could see the life I've led, then you would not reproach me so. My life was far too miserable. But I did not expect things to stay the same even in death. What a joke. In escaping my mortal life, I've entered a millennium of pain instead. Circes above. What cowards humans are. For we fear both life and death simultaneously.
I'm sorry. I am also powerless to answer that question.
That's all right, Holy Maiden. At least you are able to respond to me. Please, grant me death.
Okay.
Cersei's above. Does this count as thinking till the moment I die?
I have seen too many farewells. Her distress is quite commonplace. There are those who will end their lives over what seems to be the smallest of worries. For some people, this power that I possess is a blessing rather than a curse. But I never managed to convince myself of that.
Cass, are you still trying to create a world without death?
Yes, because when placed under time's vast scales, there is no worry in this world that cannot be solved.
Nein, ich werde darauf jetzt nichts antworten.
This is a wish that I've held for almost a millennium. My mind might have changed once upon a time if people managed to strike up a friendship with me. But I've never been more firm in my conviction. Now that I've learned about your near-death state, it is my duty to wipe death from the face of this world.
Da wäre ich mir nicht ganz sicher. Ja, nur eine Kiste.
Wow, this place is so spacious. Is this the kingdom's vault? That's fine and all, but we need to lay down some rules. We're not gonna return to the past to steal things. Do we need to enter that doorway to climb even higher? There seems to be a person. Oh, more like a soul guarding it.
But how should we get up there?
What can?
The path is blocked yet again.
Oryx's 8 always appears in times like this. How convenient.
Damit. Okay. Dann muss ich unten lang.
Look, there's even a platform lift over there. A chest of the past has been left behind, but none of its treasures remain inside.
I see.
wait! What if the miracle suddenly loses its effect?
Well, dann fallen
Ma'am.
wir runter.
Do you really want me to answer that?
So that's how it works.
Interessant, es gibt einen zweiten.
Stay back. Don't come near me.
Why does he look so panicked? Did the black tide monsters frighten? Is he actually scared of his own extraordinary power?
There's no need to be alarmed. We're just passing by the area. See? None of us look threatening.
Ja, nee, ist klar.
You have a point. Although... while this might once have been the royal vault, it's since been plundered empty. So please, go away right this instant.
You've misunderstood us. We simply heard your shouts as we were passing by, then decided to come over to find out what happened.
Ja, so kann man es auch sagen.
My goodness. Did I really yell out loud? How rude of me. I'm sorry to have bothered you. I merely saw a warrior. While that spirit didn't harm me, his blows really packed a hefty punch.
A warrior? Could it be...
Wait a minute. You seem to be quite different from him. Are you actually alive? How can you walk around here while alive?
It's a long story. We're here to seek an audience with Thanatos.
Thanatos? Who's that?
Is it possible that he's also living in the era before death descended?
Probably.
Death. Could it be that you are here to defeat the evil dragon Pollux?
Pollux. Is that the embodiment of No. Death?
According to the warriors under the Centurion's command, that evil dragon has been dead for quite a while. The curse that condemns people to death didn't originate from it.
Woher denn bitte dann?
But they saw a girl within the dragon's embrace, and she is the true Reaper.
There we go. Damit kann ich was anfangen.
Pray tell, where is that girl right now?
I've heard that the Queen spared no effort in bringing her back to the castle. Her Majesty intends to control all of Amphorius with this unprecedented power. As for whether this rumor is true, well, no one knows.
You have my thanks for the invaluable insight that you've given us. Please, treat this touch as a token of my gratitude.
You... Are you... Thank you.
This is his.
Okay, nächste Erinnerung.
Then you granted him death? That isn't like you. You would have refused even if I commanded you to do so.
I don't know. I did it out of sympathy, believing that I wouldn't be racked with agony, but I am still in a state of turmoil.
Sympathy? Sympathy for that youth who triumphed in every battle?
That young man was favored by Talantin, who taught him a move that will defeat any mortal enemy with a single blow and emerge victorious every time. He could rely on that move to always achieve victory during Era Chrysia. However, now that death has descended upon the mortal realm, that divine swordplay also means he can send others to death at will. In other words,
You feel that he's similar to you?
yes. Since he can never be inferior to others in martial combat, death would be the inevitable outcome every time he strikes. That's why he approached me and pleaded. Pleaded for me to put an end to all of this.
Okay.
You are perhaps feeling lost from making your peace with death in so abrupt a manner.
I have not made peace with death. I've seen the people of Idonia stand tall and proud in the face of death. Even before the fated finale arrived, they were already content with the lives that they'd lived. They had such proud expressions. Expressions that made me believe death would be an insult to these mortals if the concept is truly a power that a god had carelessly cast down upon the world. Perhaps death's authority was never meant to exist in this world. Just like how I shouldn't exist.
I won't refute your beliefs for now, but would you be interested in listening to a story of mine? It's a fairy tale from foreign lands, told by the person who brought you to me in that ice field long ago. A tale told by the Queen of Styxia.
What? Wait a minute. That means the girl born in the dragon's embrace, the personification of death these souls talked about. That's you, Cass?
I've already had an inkling for a while now, but I honestly have no memories of Styxia. My memories only begin after Amunet brought me to Idonia.
Don't look back. Keep moving forward. Always.
It's yet another eulogistic butterfly. Are we getting closer?
Wie groß ist diese Map bitte?
To the nether realm.
Ups.
Oh, this is...
Living ones?
Nein, sieht nicht so aus, als könnte man diese Treppe runtergehen.
Could you be the scions of Styxia?
Eher nicht, aber...
Did you hear about the great work that I'm doing here? And have thus arrived to give me the last material that I need for transmutation?
Kommt drauf an, was ist das letzte Material, das du brauchst?
Great work?
Have you heard of the great name of Pollux, perchance? You have? Then that's good. During the Age of Myth, a time likely before your birth, I was the unsurpassed zenith of alchemy that none could reach. On the shoals of the River of Souls, I shall make Pollux soar again and bring death back to the world.
Okay.
But didn't that dragon already bring death to the world?
Oh, looks like you don't know the whole picture.
Dann bin ich jetzt mal gespannt.
Well, it's true that the missing girl can grant death to mortals. Pollux, the one who delivered her onto this world, makes it so that humankind cannot die.
So, it's just as I feared.
Klär mich bitte auf.
This is my guess. The deceased are supposed to drift down the River of Souls until they reach the end of the West Winds. But this River of Souls was blocked by Pollux's fall.
That's right. That's why it's imperative that I bring the dragon back to the mortal realm and make it soar the skies again. I have long since prepared my alchemical matrix in the tower. Although, I am still missing the most crucial material of all. That final ingredient, the final sacrifice, is none other than the girl who lives out her days with death.
Huh? What's going on? You didn't touch him, did you?
I know that I am no longer capable of carrying out that task. Take this, all of you, and please fulfill that great undertaking on my behalf.
This...
We had been inebriated in Fagusa's feast for too long before we began to seek divine bestowed death, so that we could be freed from the whims of fate. However, that brought doom upon us. Instead of summoning a supreme god,
we encountered a monster that cut off the River of Souls. That detestable dragon Pollux denied all the dead from the gates of the Nether Realm. Unable to rest in peace, these departed spirits engulfed Styxia like a roaring tide. As a result, my city and its people no longer exist. That child is the only person whom I managed to save. Born within the evil dragon's abdomen, she has possessed the talent of death since her birth. She must have been granted to us by the gods as a chance for us to atone for our sins. Please, you must nurture her to adulthood and prevent her from experiencing all of the suffering that we went through.
I promise that I will care for her as a mother, that I will protect her from the evils of death.
By Fagusa above, thank you for your kindness. As her mother, please bless this child with a name before I am swept away by the River of Souls. Please, let me know how I should address her in my next life.
Oh. Like how a transient raven butterfly, a fleeting papilio castor, perches on the twig of death. Castorus. That shall be her name.
Okay.
That's where my name comes from?
Apparently.
The sound's back. What is making that ruckus?
Draußen ist vielleicht ein Gewitter?
Living ones, don't waste your time bickering. The Netherrealm's wrath is falling upon you.
Black Tide Creations. When did they... Miss, please fight them with caution.
Warum?
Be careful not to suffer the same fate as those Black Tide creatures!
Warum sollte ich aufpassen?
Everyone, hide behind me! This distance is limited. As you wish. All will be swept away by the wind.
So, das kann ich auch.
How's this taste? My friends? Indulge yourselves!
Embrace a new life.
There's so many of them. How are we holding up? Protect us.
Time to mix things up.
Wir sind gut dabei.
Root here.
Here. For the feast of strife. Upon their triumphant return.
Kommst du jetzt her?
You?
Lord Mighty? Lord Mighty, you've been through some tough battles once again.
That black tide is endless. My death is only temporary. I will find my path of return and go back to the world of the living and continue my protection.
Okay.
Lord Mighty, I have always wanted to. Why does death reject you?
I'm the one resisting it. I must resist the temptation to go with the flow. I'll go against the current and kill my way out of this cursed nether realm.
Okay.
That is my destiny.
It seems like he's completely focused on resisting the temptation of the dead's whispers. He's working hard every minute to deny death. It seems his battlefield is not limited to the world of the living. Lord Mighty, are you willing to travel with us? We're headed for the Matrix inside that tower, to summon Thanatos from their prolonged concealment.
Thanatos. Challenge. Death.
That's right. If we can work together and defeat them, you won't have to be troubled by the curse of immortality any longer.
Let's go together, Castoris. Let the person who has brushed against death countless times guide your way.
Cass,
Alles klar.
are you sure you want to do this? The alchemist said he wanted you to be a sacrifice.
I'm not afraid. There's no reason for us to turn back anymore. Rather than standing still, taking action is by far the better option. Perhaps fate might take pity on us today and show some compassion.
No match for me.
Ach du lieber Himmel. Wie weit geht das bitte noch? Das heißt, es gibt auch einen Weg hier hinzukommen. Ah ne, ich weiß warum, das geht noch, da komme ich noch nicht hin. Oh, nicht schon wieder.
This is going to be difficult.
I'm familiar with this kind of mechanism, but I've never repaired broken chains.
If I was more powerful, I would be able to carry one person with each limb and fly the four of us to the other side.
Mhm.
The Rune of Recollection is here, but I can't find a miracle orb anywhere. So weird. Oh, could it be in that collapsed tower in the distance? It's still up to me to step up in a crisis. Wait here. I'll go check things out.
Okay.
Mem did it.
The pink squirrel.
The miracle's range is limited. Please come a little closer.
Okay.
Aren't I a good fit for Orynyx's priest?
Of course. You're the most competent priest ever. The alchemical matrix should be behind this door. Is that...
Wow, there are so many of you!
Oh, Tria.
It's little Cass and little Gray. Oh, there's also little D and the pink puppy! Trian? Aren't you... Get what? I'm getting even more confused.
This is the first time I've encountered a deceased friend while going upstream in the River of Souls.
It really works like this. Just like the other departed spirits we've encountered along the way. I'm also unable to sense the aura of the living on Lady Trian.
Yup, you're right. Trian already knows that she'll not be able to return to everyone's side. But Trian believed that little Cass would eventually return to the Netherrealm. So, Trian has been standing here, at this spot closest to the world of the living, and waiting for little Cass.
Uh-huh.
Oh. It must have been very tough for you.
Probably.
But according to what Trian said, we're almost at the entrance of the Netherrealm. Trian promised Trevi and Trinan that when little Cass got here, Trian would get the gift ready and be the first person to run over and welcome you.
Uh-huh.
So, little Cass, don't cry. Please, accept this. We finally finished it.
This is what Lady Treeby once mentioned. The gift for me that you didn't manage to finish.
The Holy Maiden of Janus. Even when separated by life and death, their thoughts are still connected.
Trian spent a lot of time drawing this. Trian hopes that little Cass likes it.
Auch nicht besser.
Seriously? It's seriously a wonderful drawing. Lady Trian.
This is our flame chase journey.
Little Cass, we don't know what your journey was like before. Trevi has always said that it must have been a very harsh and frightening journey. But little Cass no longer has anything to fear now, because everyone is here with you in this flame chase journey!
That's right. Only now, when I see Lady Trian's gift, do I realize that I've already obtained so many things I would never have dared to dream of since I embarked on the flame chase journey. It's the first time I've gained so many companions. The first time I picked up the hobbies of crafting and photography. The first time I had dinner with someone else. The first time I went to the market to buy the Chimera doll I'd liked for a very long time and hugged it to sleep.
Okay.
The first time I wore a dress personally made by Lady Aglaya. The first time I went for a walk with Lady Treeby, Lady Treanne, and Lady Treenan. The first time I enjoyed the night breeze and looked up at the stars with Miss Hyson. The first time I took care of Dromasis with the Trailblazer. Looking back at all these experiences I never thought were possible, it feels as though the scales of my life had shrunk from centuries and decades down to minutes and seconds. And all of them are so precious. I took countless photos in the past, but they're all black and white landscapes. I don't have a single one with friends. If I had known, I would have taken more pictures.
War der Kameraspeicher nicht voll?
Trianne says yes! Trianne likes little Cass and would love to take a picture with little Cass.
Sadly, being departed souls, our images cannot be captured in the world of the living.
I thought so too.
What? Are we seriously going to leave any room for regret?
There won't be any regrets. This vivid drawing surpasses any photograph from the world of the living.
Okay.
Little Cass smiled. Treeby, Treenan, and Trianne's wishes finally come true!
I remember you once said that fate is not the flowers that bloom at the end of the road, but where people tread beyond the gate.
Ich kann auch nicht einen Abend Ruhe vor dieser Scheiße
Now,
haben.
the path that belongs to me is about to reach the end. Thank you for bringing me the final key.
Key? Little Cass, why are you talking in riddles all of a sudden?
I have a feeling that soon, this gift of yours will become the key to saving Mrs. Life.
Hi, Cypher.
Wow, that's amazing! Then keep smiling and carry on bravely! Little Cass, Little Gray, everyone, see you tomorrow!
Lady Trianne.
The aura of this place. We have indeed reached the end of the stream of souls. If I go any further, I might lose myself. I must leave now, for the black tide still wreaks havoc in the realm of the living. I have broken free from the chains of death countless times. This time will be no different.
Okay.
Castorus, will you fulfill your duty for the flame chase?
I have yet to make my decision, Lord Mighty.
No matter. Make the choice your heart desires. Even if it takes 1,000 years of waiting. I will continue to fight till I die. Then rise from death. Till the miracle descends.
There is one more thing you should know, Lord Mighty.
What is it?
Professor Anaxa may have deduced the principles behind the Era Nova. You and I may be reincarnated as strife and death in the next cycle, becoming calamities wreaking havoc upon the world.
I see.
Is that all? Are you going to accept such a fate without complaints?
Do you have a strategy to shatter the shackles of our fate?
I haven't found it yet. Perhaps I never will.
Then, cease wasting your thoughts on futile matters. Control what little you can. And when fate's inescapable grasp comes, resist it with the strength of your mighty will.
Thank you, Lord Mighty. I will find the right decision.
In the name of strife, may you meet a fitting end.
Okay.
This must be the alchemical matrix the spirit mentioned. Let's see. We need to insert Aquila's sky, Georios' earth, Kephali's fire, Fagusa's ocean, and Nestia's love.
It seems our sweet Princess Homebody has made up her mind. In that case, seamstress, I suppose I no longer need to deliver your message. My time is rather precious after all.
Whether you wish to break free from death or not, please, follow your heart. By the promise you once made, I ask that you fulfill your duty one final time. Castorus, please, live as a human, and die as one.
According to that alchemist, the final piece is supposed to be me. However, he is not privy to the past, and therefore cannot see the full picture.
Ich bin gleich wieder da.
The past?
I saw the twins of death in Kephali's memory, and now I am certain that I was one of them. The trial of the Hand of Shadow demanded taking the life of your family. I died during that trial, falling before the gate to the new world. And my sister, whom I never met, became the Titan Thanatos of this cycle. She was consumed with regret over my death, so she used the Titan's authority to reforge my soul. Yet, it also means she has never revealed herself to anyone, hidden away from the entire world. That's because the Titan she became already fell at the start of everything. They died for me, and now lie in slumber in the River of Souls.
You mean... Pollux?
That's right. The River of Souls is no material river. It cannot be blocked by ordinary means. Only a divine corpse can prevent the dead from reaching the next world. And that's why... we have to awaken Pollux from death before we can retrieve the core flame of death.
Okay.
We have to reforge its body with the power of alchemy.
Bräuchten wir dazu nicht eigentlich jemanden, der sich mit der Alchemie auskennt?
But Cass, if that alchemist speaks the truth, does that mean you're also part of the dragon body?
Probably.
According to those departed spirits, I was indeed born as the dragon's twin. But before we talk about that, have you heard the sighs?
I heard them too. So what are those?
The hell I know.
I think it's probably the sign of Pollux's wish being fulfilled. They must have realized how heavy a price they'd need to pay when they used their divine authority to resurrect a dead woman. That's why they exerted every ounce of their strength to send me to Styxia, a city that called for death, a land where none is hostile to death. They never saw their wish fulfilled and fell so prematurely, all because they wanted to give me a new life. Pollux must really want to know how their sister has been after giving their all to save her. That wish is the reason Pollux's soul still lingers in the mortal realm even after their fall, quietly watching and documenting every detail of their sister's life.
So instead of picking up objects on the way here...
we were instead showing things to a strand of yearning that lingers here. Now, we must weave these yearnings together and restore them into Pollux's complete soul.
But all of this is just a hypothesis, right? What if we go through with the ritual and it turns out totally different?
Was weiß ich?
That's fine. As Professor Anaxa often reminds us, such is the nature of alchemy. The true outcome can only be known once the process is complete. This is why alchemy is also known as the miracle of creation. Now, the puzzle of Pollux's yearnings is nearly complete, with only one final piece remaining. I shall reveal what they have been yearning to know in the alchemical matrix. I will show them my whole life since I left Styxia.
Okay.
Lady Trianne has already drawn a picture of my entire life, and it is now in my hands. Then, let the ritual begin.
Okay.
And now, the objective is complete. That is all. Such is what Professor Anaxa always says after preparing for an alchemical ritual. And now... Pollux, I shall lift you from the River of Souls and reforge your soul. Perhaps you will be disturbed by this, and your body may become horrifying to behold. But if even the slightest trace of your soul remains, the soul that once ferried me to this side of the shore, then please, look at me. I wish to thank you in person I have obtained everything you sacrificed your divinity for. Lady Almanette.
Did she recognize you? Oh, she must be the first soul we can communicate with here, right?
I'm afraid she is just another spirit trapped here, like the rest of them. The only difference is that I was there when she died. Please, go on. I'm listening. Are you about to tell the story of Styxia?
Yes. You're just as smart as I imagined, but... never mind. Now's not the time.
There's no need to worry, Elder. Take a look around you. You're already at the resting place of the dead.
The world of the dead? But how?
I understand that you chose to remain silent about the story to protect Casterus, the girl who coexists with death. But you no longer need to hide that story. I can assure you that you have protected that girl's life well.
Well, in that case, let me begin. Styxia, the pearl of the ocean, plagued by unwarranted calamity and ravaged by death in the fairy tale. It was the first city-state to shift their faith towards death, even before Idonia did. From where you stand now, I suppose that's a bit hard to believe. Right?
Indeed. I cannot imagine that those from the era Chrysia, blessed with eternal life, could ever yearn for death.
I have pondered the same question, child. But I am afraid there is no clear answer to it.
Journeys and epics are only glorious and magnificent because all things eventually fade to dust. That's how someone once explained to me why death is necessary to the world. But I still can't take that as the final answer. Would a world without journeys and epics be worse off?
I take it the one who spoke this line was a general, or perhaps a warrior. I, however, did find some inspiration in these words. Would you like to hear my thoughts, Casterus?
Please enlighten me, Lady Almanette. Though I have already made up my mind on how to handle the authority and core flame of death. Your words might truly guide me toward the path forward.
Alright.
You and I are neither warriors nor generals. Therefore, journeys and epics cannot truly resonate with us. But what if I reframe it like this? What if love is not a trait bestowed upon mortals by Nestia, but a blessing from death?
Love.
No one ever invented the word cherish in the era when life was eternal. For all the good things in the world can be revisited endlessly, and every bond formed carried no risk of being severed. The so-called Era Chrysia was an age devoid of both virtue and sin. People did not truly live. They simply existed, going through the motions without passion or purpose, and waiting for something to happen. Perhaps the people of Styxia chose to embrace death not out of fascination with its cruel and fearsome side, but instead became fixated and obsessed with the impulses and desires tied to a finite existence.
Therefore, death is not a thing of fear and desperation, but...
That's right, Casterus. It is the reason we shed tears when parting ways, and also the original spark that ignited the passion of mortals. If you truly intend to deprive the world of death, then be prepared to witness it return to a state of stagnation.
I understand, Lady Amunet. Our limited lifespan shapes all that we know and love. Not even the Death Titan has the right to take that away from humankind again. Nestia's love was the chrysalis of Gold's first blessing, but it most likely wasn't understood by mankind. We only learned to interpret this wonderful gift after Thanatos' arrival. If the world was bereft of death, then the Queen of Styxia wouldn't have played midwife in delivering me into this world. You wouldn't have welcomed me into Idonia, and Aglaya would never have invited me to join the Flame Chase journey. None of these stories would ever have happened, and I would never have lived, let alone found happiness. Thank you, Mother. I will use all the love I've experienced in this long life to complete the final miracle. My teacher, Anaxagoras, grant me the wisdom of all things. I call upon thee, the stripped dead dragon's corpse. Rises from the earth, falls from the sky. As above, so below. This is the greatest power of all powers. Unstoppable in this world. The great work that commands all death. I shall grant you embrace.
Okay, boss fight. Ach, richtig, du musst hier selber kämpfen. Double speed.
Existence is unity. I'm okay. Is the girl who once saved my life truly gone? The table you showed me. I know you're anxious. Shh. Don't be afraid. A new life.
Step up, let's see it.
I'll remember.
Advice like a good friend? Indulge yourselves!
There's no more need to weep in grief. I will grant you peace. Yes, it's me. I'm back.
Well, you guys go.
Life is not so fragile. Darkness with me. Be careful. They may be moving by instinct, but there is fury welling up within them. Return to dust.
Step up, let's see ya.
Okay, das ist jetzt Overkill.
May death protect us. Please, don't turn back to the Nether Realm. Oh, death. Sleep in peace.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry I have to wake you up from ancient death.
Hi, Skylar.
And I know you're
Ja,
anxious.
ich muss endlich mal mit der Story fertig werden.
Don't be afraid.
Bevor hier, Hyacinth rauskommt. Muss die Story fertig werden.
Do you remember me?
Ach du
I'm the girl you
Scheiße.
once
5
carried
Tage.
across the Sea of Souls.
Aber wenn du jetzt schon mal gerade im Chat bist,
I'm sorry I wasn't able to remember you.
kann ich
But with the help of many people,
dich mal kurz fragen,
I was finally
wie
able to
mein
pick up
neues
these
Mikro
broken
klingt?
fragments of my past.
Ich bin mit den Einstellungen noch nicht 100% zufrieden.
I'm back, Pollux.
Und was hast du gegen 3-3? Na gut, ich habe den Trailer nicht gesehen. Ich habe nur das Ende vom Trailer gesehen und das sah schon brachial aus, was da kommt.
I know this might not be what you wanted.
Ist das drin? Ach, shit.
But I have to do this.
Scheiße.
So please, carry me across the Sea of Souls again and return me to the
Da
Nether
muss
Realm,
ich gucken, warum das so dumm
just like
ist.
you did in the past. Please take me to where the core flame of death rests.
Besser
I'll be
nicht
going
spoilern.
now. They may look scary, but as long
What's wrong?
Are you...
What's wrong with her?
Her time is almost up. If I don't go now, I'm afraid her soul will return to Thanatos' embrace before me.
What? Oh no! Is there anything we can do?
Don't worry. I promised I would ask Thanatos for the Trailblazers' right to roam the Earth again. Mem, stay here and keep a close watch until I return, all right?
All right. I'm the best at taking care of others. Go on, Cass. Make sure not to leave yourself with any regrets.
Ja, ich weiß, dass da der ein oder andere drauf geht. Das habe ich noch mitbekommen.
It's a deal then.
Bei 2 bin ich mir sicher.
Please. Wait for me.
After all that, you still ended up back here.
Ja, Cypher Mayday wusste ich.
So the legends were true. The Netherrealm really is a sea of flowers.
Yes. Just like the flower fields we tended to back then.
Is that you, Plexia?
Do you remember me?
I don't have the memories from that time, but I've seen you before during an experiment.
Ich weiß, dass noch irgendwas mit, hier,
Call me
wie heißt der Große der Welt? Wer ist nochmal der Titan der Welt? Ich weiß, damit ist noch irgendwas.
However, since you recognize the name, you must already know everything about
Nee, lass mal gut sein.
Right?
Den Rest erfahre ich dann, wenn die Story draußen ist.
Yes. I'm here to reforge the order of life and death in Amphorius.
You know, my sister was a sympathetic, but rather sensitive person. Whenever she didn't want to say what was on her mind, she would avoid eye contact and look off into the distance. Just like what you are doing now.
Ich muss mir den Trailer sowieso noch
Can you tell
angucken.
me about the last Era Nova? What did you do, Plexia?
Where should I begin? I suppose we can start from the beginning. A long, long time ago, there were a pair of like-minded twins. As foretold in the prophecy, they were chosen to be successors to the god of death. But fate was cruel. The price of attaining divinity was to take the life of a family member with our own hands.
That trial was indeed recorded in that memory.
Dachte ich mir fast.
Then you should already know that my sister voluntarily gave up her own life, so that I could ascend as the demigod of death.
Oh
I
boy.
couldn't accept that.
Das habe ich nur für die
Why
ersten
did we
paar
have to
gemacht.
kill each other for a future she'd never see herself? That's not fair. So, while weaving the laws of the new world, I shattered the forbidden bottom line for life and death. I reshaped my sister's soul and took the form of the great dragon Pollux to carry her up the River of Souls and back into the mortal realm. But our fates were already decided and manifested in unexpected ways in response to my futile actions. Aging is an unbreakable law of nature laid upon humankind, created at the same time as death. When the living die, their souls will meet Thanatos, who would determine where every soul goes.
Okay.
If the Reaper raises their left hand, the soul is granted death and allowed to enter the Netherrealm to await reincarnation. If they raise their right hand, the soul is rejected by the Netherrealm and returned to the mortal realm to continue walking the earth.
That's why the Hand of Shadow can only lay down judgment and not embrace another being.
Yes. Death was originally a pair of hands.
Ach du
They were
großer Gott.
split in twain when we reached the mortal realm, never to touch each other ever again. The half of Thanatos that represents life, the undying human who grants death, that was the curse I forced upon you.
Then, what about you?
Ei, ei, ei.
As the half of Thanatos representing death, I shoulder the fate of defying death. I died the moment I entered the world of the living. From then on, my Titan also no longer existed in this world. The cycle of life and death stopped. Souls were denied their audience with death, and were left stranded within an ever-rising river of the dead. What irony. My selfish desire to save your life gave you and the world a fate far worse than death instead. Then, what was left of my reason was left behind in the Netherrealm, where I've been taking care of these flowers day after day, until there is now a sea of them, all while mulling over the subject of life, death, parting, and enduring an endless loneliness.
Fate is absurd indeed.
Okay.
Our lives were a mirrored image of one another, like a pair of hands. Even so, we arrived at the same destination. We walked different paths, yet experienced the same pain.
I had hoped that maybe
Ja gut,
you
ich habe gar
would
kein
at least have a good life
Doch,
in
ich
this
habe kein
cycle.
DPS. Müsste ich eigentlich auch noch mal
I'm
ranholen.
sorry. I lived my life well. It didn't
Naja.
go to waste.
Aber erstmal muss ich auf
As far
Dritten
as I'm
warten.
concerned, you did nothing wrong.
Even though I forced the authority of granting death to humanity upon you, a total stranger.
Too many responsibilities were forced upon me in the course of this long journey. I was once lost, even upset. But I realized recently that if it weren't for your blessing, I wouldn't have understood
Ja,
the
ich verstehe,
source
was
of
du
these
meinst.
emotions, nor would I have realized my purpose. I wouldn't have made it here to reunite with my missing half. And we wouldn't be discussing our past while sharing the same view of this landscape. I wouldn't have understood the meaning of our existence.
The meaning of our existence.
This sea of flowers blooms on dead land, because we sowed it with the seeds of our separation and watered it with our tears of loneliness. Yes, the only thing death is allowed to create are flowers that bloom from blood and tears. That's why Thanatos cannot create living beings at will. Nor can the Hand of Shadow determine a person's remaining days. Because the life and death of mortals should never be dictated by another's will.
Are you saying there's no point in Thanatos' existence?
No. No single being can bear the scales of life and death on their own. Not even a god. Life and death weigh equally heavy. We both know that now, don't we?
Ich muss das alles noch
You,
machen.
too, must have had a difficult life. We've taken quite the ridiculous journey together, haven't we? I had a feeling, even back then, that we would meet again one day. Not to embrace one another after a long separation, but to come in search of retribution. Tell me the answer that's already been written, and let us draw. It's been far too long. I've waited here for centuries, watching day after day as desperate spirits are denied by this lonely wasteland. I always hoped I would see you among them, but I was also afraid of seeing you. I didn't know how I could possibly face you again, but more than anything, I was afraid that you might have forgotten all about me.
I know. But don't you see, Polixia? I made it back anyway. You don't have to shoulder death's authority on your own anymore. It was always meant to be held in two hands anyway.
Muss ich mich alles noch kümmern.
So, let's give our core flame to her, and have her take it back to the mortal realm. Give humanity back their cycle of life and death. Our responsibility as Thanatos was never about picking out favorite souls. We were only meant to watch over life. Let's tend the field together and create a warm sea of flowers for all the souls to come. What do you think, Polixia?
Yes, just one last step. You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame. As foretold by the prophecy, Thanatos' authority is only destined for only one person to wield. As the Chrysos heir of death, as their demigod, as a titan, our fated moment has arrived once again.
Just like before.
Yes, just like before. But unlike that time, the ones undergoing the trial this time are prepared.
You've made up your mind?
Yes, as dictated by fate. But I won't be afraid. As long as you're here with me. Complete your trial in this life. Grant me the embrace of death. And light the spark of life ablaze. You've been tempered by life and death. I know you'll be able to give this wasteland its first breath of life. Like a raven butterfly, flying swiftly into the nether realm, perching on the twig of death.
I will. After this, I will remain permanently in the Netherrealm. The River of Souls shall return here and rain down from the sky, scattering souls across the earth. The cycle of life and death will flow once again. This sea of flowers you sowed shall bear countless joyous or sorrowful souls, and bloom evermore.
Thank you. Just one last thing. Can you grant me one wish?
Of course. What is it?
Please, don't forget me.
I promise you, when we meet in the next world, even if I have endured another reincarnation, even if we do not know each other's names, I will still hold you tightly in my arms, just like what I did when we were born.
Casterus. Casterus. You're as beautiful as a fleeting butterfly.
I will bring rest to death. And from now on, stagnant life will once again flow.
Time flies. In the blink of an eye, the 15th entry hour is already at hand. When this farce is over, your soul will be placed on the scales of life and death. Are you ready?
No need to ask so many times. Of course I am.
Then why do you drag your feet? Is your fear of crowds holding you back again?
I simply find them too noisy. Paying attention to conceited fools like them would be an utter waste of my time.
Okay.
Such harsh words. As I see it, you are no less arrogant than they are.
I couldn't agree more.
Oh. I did not expect to hear that from you. Are you not going to refute me?
I know myself better than you think I do. At the very least, better than a stowaway like you.
And they say men whose ends are nigh have but kind words. Well, that is exactly why I chose you.
Should I thank you for the compliment?
The hour of the trial has come. Do you have an answer for me? And how will you prove the veracity of your argument?
I suppose there is no point in putting this off any longer. Do you recall where we stopped the last time?
You were saying that Amphorius's history is cyclical.
Indeed. The demigods that bear the core flames eventually become the new titans at the world's end. Remember what happened on the Holy Mountain? Calypso, Naias. As their destined ends approached, one by one they left this world, leaving only the twins, who are fated to succeed death. Unfortunately, while their journey is consistent with ours, you and Calypso, as well as Nikador and Naias, act as supporting evidence. I can only come up with a rough sketch for my theory of a cyclical history. For all the pains I took to reach this point, I had already lost hope of ever obtaining definitive proof. After all, the past is in the past. Proving that we are the legacies of heroes of the past is a hopeless endeavor. That is, until I met a girl named Polixia and her sister. If Castorus was truly sent from the past to the present for the Titan's self-serving reasons, then having lived through 2 cycles, and with Styxia as the pivot, she will no doubt be the link to connect all of this together. If the Twins of Death can bridge 2 cycles to reunite at the shores of the Sea of Souls, then my hypothesis will no longer be just a hypothesis. And you too will get the answer to your question.
Well, that is all well and good, but how can you be so sure? If there is even the slightest error in your hypothesis, the girl will be shattered.
It matters not. The most important quality a scholar must possess is foolhardiness. If you are overly cautious, then you'll never have the gumption to make the first step, and change will never come. Besides, I, Anaxagoras, am destined to overturn this farcical world. Come, let us go and teach those pathetic worms one final lesson.
Okay.
Fine. So...
Let those Chrysos heirs who started this terrible war hear you. Let them hear the voices of the people!
As always, that woman knows how to stir up a crowd.
Professor Anaxa, I thought you'd pass on this.
Everyone must cast their vote, or this assembly would serve no purpose.
Prof, do you truly think it's wise to entrust the fate of the world to an assembly like this?
Akama has stood strong under this system for 1,000 years. It stands to reason that there is purpose in its existence. But that is not what you're asking, is it? What you really want to know is Aglaya making the right decision in entrusting the fate of the world to you?
Nothing ever escapes you.
I didn't spend all those years teaching you for nothing. Most people only take 4 years to graduate, if I recall.
To tell the truth, I feel like I'm on my way to an execution chamber instead of a podium. So, do you have an answer to that question?
No, I don't.
I thought so.
Because that question is not yours to ask in the first place. Is Aglaya entrusting the world to you the right decision? Don't make me laugh. That is a question that woman must answer herself. Why are you fretting about this on her behalf? Or have you been seeing yourself as her pawn all this time? Listen up. I'll say this only once. Flip your perspective around and ask yourself this instead. What should I do to ensure that the world doesn't stray from the correct path? That is what you should be thinking about. You still have time, so give it some thought. Oh, and don't bother telling me the answer. Tell it to those begging for salvation from the gods.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you, Professor Anaxa.
That's Anaxagoras to you.
Who will you be voting for?
That'll depend on how well you perform. May Circe safeguard your thoughts.
Gut. So. Ach, richtig, ich bin ja nicht mehr kabelgebunden. Und kann das Zeug, das ich brauche, einfach so holen. So. Dann wollen wir mal... Gut, so. Dann würde ich aber sagen, mache ich Schluss für heute. Wünsche euch noch einen schönen Abend. Und hoffe, dass wir uns hier bald wiedersehen. Bye!
Unter dem Mondschein beginnt die Nacht. Fate ist da, die Bühne ist gemacht. Pokémon, Gacha, Anime, Flair. Müde Augen, doch die Stimmung ist mehr. Verpeilt auch immer am Ziel vorbei. DH und Vesadel sind immer dabei. Abends streamen, bis die Nacht uns ruft. Fate ist hier, der Chat hat Luft. Fate ruft alle, komm und spiel. Abenteuer mit Stil. Von T-Wats bis